my model to come forward. She is fashionably dressed. I'm Beth Cooper. For those of you who do not know, this is Joyce Stryzik. We have the privilege of serving on the board for Crossroads Life Center. So we really appreciate the opportunity to serve now in Hart County. So thank you all for supporting that. The Way Church is a pro-life church. Yeah? And Paul, can you attest to the fact that some of us have been given a second chance at life? Yes. Yeah, we've heard... We've heard the testimony. And so, for me, I'm one of those people too. I'm just so grateful that the Lord made a way for me to live and live in his abundance. The state of Kentucky is a pro-life state. It is absolutely a pro-life state. We have been able to pass a ton of legislation in our state to see that that is the truth. But here's the cool part. You all get an opportunity to show that that is truth. How many know that on the ballot on November 8th, there will be 2 constitutional amendments? Raise your hand. Okay, that's the problem. People perish for lack of knowledge. And the perishing ones in this topic are our babies. Okay, so let me give you a little knowledge. On November 8th, we have this amendment. It is displayed behind me. It says, we're going to read it because I want to know how you feel about it. It says, are you in favor of amending the Constitution of Kentucky by creating a new section of the Constitution to be numbered Section 26A to state as follows? Listen close. To protect human life, nothing in this Constitution shall be construed to secure or protect a right to abortion or require the funding of abortion. What is the answer to that question? Yes. But there's a lot of people that may confuse that question and think because it contains the word abortion or because it contains the word construe, and that might create confusion, there are people who will say no. Has anyone heard about the constitutional amendment in Kansas that did not pass? Okay, the state of Kansas has already done this, okay? And their pro-life amendment failed because the amendment was confusing. They thought they were supposed to say no when truly they believed yes, okay? So in Kentucky, we have to get the word out that the answer on Amendment 2 is yes. It is yes. We are here to protect human life, and we want the state of Kentucky, its legislatures, its governor to know that the answer on 2 is yes for the state of Kentucky, okay? This will open the door for us to secure all of the laws that Kentucky has already passed to protect the lives of the unborn, okay? Any questions about that? Anything you all want to know about it? Was that pretty clear? It is clear. Okay. Yes on 2. Yeah. There are 2 constitutional amendments that are going to be on the back of the ballot. If you vote straight party, say you're a Democrat or say you're a Republican and you just vote straight party, you will not be voting for the constitutional amendments, okay? So you have to go all the way down to the bottom, or you have to flip it over and answer the questions on the back, okay? If you vote straight party, you are not voting for an amendment because this is not a partisan thing. This isn't a Republican or Democrat thing. This is everybody. This is all people get the opportunity if you choose to, okay? So, I've said it several times that on 6/24/22, when the U.S. Supreme Court said it is the decision of the state to determine if abortion is viable in your state. They did not overturn abortion. They did not make it illegal. They said it's the state's responsibility. So it's your responsibility to say what this state is about. It is absolutely your responsibility. If you know people who have never voted before, then it's time to encourage them to register. It's time to encourage them to vote. But it's your responsibility as pro-life people to help people understand what this amendment's about, okay? It is vitally important for the cause, okay? So I want to very quickly tell you my why, okay? So can you go to the next slide? Oh, you're already there. All right. So this is my why. at 10 years old, I had already decided what I wanted to do with my life. I was going to be an attorney, and I was going to be a prosecutor. I mean, I was all about it. And, and I set up everything in my life from the age of 10 to make sure that I was going to accomplish that, okay? But there was a little unplanned moment that happened. Yeah, a great interruption. And as soon as I found out about this interruption, I considered that this is a disruption in my plan, and I considered that maybe it wasn't the right time, okay? The current culture today, those ones in the loud voices and the bullhorns, are trying to convince you that this is a choice to be made, okay? It is not a choice. It is not a choice. If you choose to terminate a pregnancy, that is murder. It is murder. There's no two ways about it, okay? Now, the blood of Jesus covers all of our poor decisions. Thank God. Second chances, third chances, fourth chances. But here's the reality of the matter. I considered that choice. And I made a decision in my heart that said, no matter how hard it is, no matter how difficult it's going to be to tell my parents, no matter how many of these scholarships I'm going to have to turn down, no matter what this looks like, my choice is yes. He gets to live, okay? Now, when I go to the doctor, they start doing the ultrasounds where we get to see and hear everything. And they said, you know what? I don't think you're going to be able to handle this. This kid's going to be special needs. And I don't think that you are equipped as a young mother who did not plan for this, who is single. You are not ready to do this. And so we believe that your child is going to have significant issues that are going to be well beyond your means to support him. And so you need to consider terminating this pregnancy. Now, I had already resolved it in my heart, but when you hear those kinds of statements and they show you all of this evidence and all of these test results and all this stuff, you're faced with it again, okay? So then I went home and I considered a whole lot of things because he was right. I did not have 2 wooden nickels. I had nothing, and I knew that he was going to require a lot if what they said was true, okay? I had already decided that it was going to cost me my career, okay? That I was not going to be able to accomplish what I was set out to do. And you know what? That was true. I'm not a prosecuting attorney. It was true. I gave it up, okay? But when I went back to the doctor's office, I said, I have made the decision that he lives. And the doctor came at me again because he was convinced this child was going to be born very deformed and that he was not going to be viable. And so you see, that moment comes flooding back in. And for the ones who have chosen no to that life, it comes flooding back in on them too. The folks that we counsel that chose no, they always remember that moment. They go back to that room. They go back to that place, just like when you choose yes. But let me tell you, this little baby, he lived his first home in that little light box. That was where he lived. He lived there for a while. And when we finally got to hold him, you see that little alien-looking being behind me? That's what we got to hold. I could hold him in the palm of my hand at 3 pounds, and I could feed him with his bottle in the palm of my hand. And I couldn't believe they were going to let me take this thing home. I'm just like, I got to keep this alive. It was unreal. So go to the next slide. But he taught me joy. He taught me how to understand what it really means to live. Because he was so full of life. I mean, from the time he was born, he was so full of life, and he fought, and he fought, and he fought, and he overcame so many illnesses. But you know what? He didn't have any deformities. He did not have Down syndrome. He did not have the heart defect. He couldn't breathe at the beginning, but his lungs fully developed, and they said it never would. Okay? Because the great physician spoke into his life and breathed into his lungs. And now, yeah. So 275 months ago, I made the decision that this little boy would live. Now let's see what he's become today. From the time he could speak, he was about saving other people's lives. And so it cost me my career. It cost me my plan for my life. But God gave him his life so that others may live. And he's walking it out every single day. So we're just asking, could you please vote yes on number 2? Could you please share with other people that we need you to go down to the end of the ballot and vote yes on number 2? I'm personally voting yes on 1 and 2, so it's super easy. It's yes, yes. But if you want some more information, Joy has some of these cards to help you in the conversation with other people. So if you want one, if you want to just lift your hands, we're really going to quickly canvass the room and get you the information that you need. Paul, thank you for the time. We really appreciate you.